let's get into this topic of conversation, man. There's been a lot of turmoil. There's been a lot of commotions, a lot of disagreements on the officiating of Game 5 with the Minnesota Lynx versus the New York Liberty. I'm just going to say this right out. New York Liberty, I agree with head coach Cheryl Reeve. I believe that the officiating was horrible. It was terrible. You have to let the players dictate who wins and who loses in a Game 5. You have to. The referees completely control this game for the New York Liberty throughout, from start to finish. That was a travel by Breanna Stewart. That was not a foul on Breanna Stewart. And you cannot allow the game, the officials, to control the game the way they did with this cheating that they did. Just blatant cheating, not being fair with the officiating down the stretch of this basketball game. Let's listen to what Cheryl Reeve had to say about the end results of them losing Game 5 and the WNBA championship to bad officiating by the referees in this game.
I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which we, it's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was. But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the three people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because that decided the game. That decided the game.
It did.
And I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on, because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
I have no issue with what Cheryl Reeve said. I like her as a coach. She's a damn good coach. She knows how to make adjustments on the fly. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. If you're not able to make adjustments on the fly, then what are you a coach for? She is a coach for a reason. She's a full-time coach of the year. Full-time coach of the year. She is a damn good coach. She knows what she's doing, and she holds her players accountable, and she's straight up honest. If her players played like crap, she would have came out and said it. But that was bad officiating, which cost them the game and cost them the championship.
Well, we talked about it, we know we could have done some things, right? But you shouldn't have to overcome to that extent. This shit ain't that hard. Officiating it's not that hard. When someone is being held, be consistent. If you don't want to hold it one end, then don't call it the other. Be consistent. Every team asked for that, right? Sandy asked for that last game. So 3 of the games in the series, we're talking about the same damn thing, right? So I tell these guys, for whatever reason it didn't work out, right? It just doesn't feel right that you lose a series with that level of discrepancy, And we don't have a team that whines and complains and, all that stuff. And, sometimes it probably hurts us. Maybe being a little more, I don't know, something. But, I just think that, you have a star player like Fee, I don't get it. I don't get how she can be held and go to the basket and get hit. And then a marginal, at best, sends their best player to the free throw line. That's tough. It's tough to swallow. Just like our 2016 championship that was lost, officiating, missing a shot clock violation. This sucks. This is for a championship. right? For both teams, let them decide it. What contact is legal should be the same for both teams. This isn't that hard. And so it's disappointing. I mean, congratulations to the Liberty on their first championship. Been around, I don't know, how long has the league been around? 28 years? It took them 28 years. Congrats to them. We were that close to our fifth. Just didn't happen, right? It's disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing. But these guys, I mean, they got to try to pick themselves up and go, we were that damn close, and it hurts. It hurts.
I think for me is definitely something to think about. You have to look at it from a perspective is that if you're going to not call it on one end when her best player, Collier, clearly gets held and things of that nature and they don't call it, like Cheryl Reeve said, then don't call it on the other end. But if you're going to sit here and you're going to call it, if you're going to call it like that on the other end, then you are definitely cheating the other team. And it's sad. It's so sad and pathetic for me when you think about it, is that you lose the game based off on not making calls. That's the sad part. You hate to lose the game when you get a call that was clearly not a foul. And for whatever reasons, I know the reasons, they definitely wanted the New York Liberty to win this series. They definitely had it on their side, but on the backside, let's be real. On the backside is that if you're Minnesota Lynx, what could have y'all have done to not even allow it to get to a game 5? You lost that game 3. You let that game get away from you. You was up most of the game and you let that game get away from you. You let New York Liberty claw their way back into that game, and they end up stealing game 3 on your home court, which forced you to win game 4 and to go back to New York to win your 5th championship. So if you look back at it, Cheryl Reeve is correct. She is right. I have no issues with what she said. She's the head coach. She has that right to speak up for her team. So she did what she was supposed to do. You can call it complaining. You can call it making excuses. But it is the fact. If you go back and you look at that play, Breanna Stewart traveled. It was no foul on Breanna Stewart. She completely missed that shot on her own. It wasn't because she was fouled. She missed that shot badly. She was intimidated. She was scared. There was good defense on her, and she didn't even really have a good game. So when you lose like that, yes, it stings. Yes, it hurts. Yes, you're pissed off. So I completely get it. But on the other end, let me say this. You have to win game 3. If you win game 3, you put all the pressure on New York Liberty. And guess what? I don't believe, for me, watching New York Liberty, they respond well under pressure. And you more likely will win game 4 at Minnesota. And you win your 5th championship. This is why you have to take every game with like it's your last. You got to execute when you have to. And when you're at home, you have to take advantage of that, because when y'all won in New York, you took home court advantage away from New York Liberty. That's the key here. If you're able to snatch away home court advantage from your opposing team, then you have to capitalize on that and win both of those games back in Minnesota. You're that good of a team. Y'all have been up. Y'all been playing good. Like the first half, y'all been playing great. But y'all have those mental lapses where you make stupid turnovers. You don't make good decisions. You don't hit your shots like you should. You don't play to the core of your defensive assignments, understanding who you need to be guarding, who do you not need to go away from, because if they are open, they're going to hit those shots. You have to stay disciplined. And when you don't stay disciplined for most of the game, you end up losing that home court advantage that you took away from New York Liberty. And now this is what happened, because in the game 5 playing in New York, if you're not leveling up and executing at a very high level, the crowd was hype. It was a lot of noise. It was a lot of commotion. It was a lot of energy and explosion in that arena. Things like this happen. It's unfortunate, but things like this happen. Y'all let me know in the comment section, man. What do you think about the head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, Cheryl Reeve, on what she said about the officiating and how this championship was stolen from them? Do you agree with her? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you. Until next time, stay tuned to the next video.